Hi Sam. I'm glad to see you again. Today, we're going to learn a new word.
Wald.
Hi Alex.
Wald.
What does that mean?
Great question.
Wald.
Means forest in English. It refers to a large area covered chiefly with trees and undergrowth. The most common usage is for natural forests. But be careful, because it's not a false friend, but some English words like wilderness might come to mind, and that's a bit different.
Interesting. So, what about the grammar for
Wald.
Sure.
Wald.
Is a masculine noun, so it uses the article.
Der.
In the plural, it becomes.
Wälder.
For example, you can say,
Der Wald ist groß.
which means the forest is big. In the past tense, you would say,
Der Wald war groß.
and for the perfect tense, you'd say,
Der Wald ist groß gewesen.
So, I could say,
Stimm ab.
when I want to ask someone to vote on a forest conservation project.
not quite.
Wald.
Is a noun, while.
Stimm ab.
Is a verb phrase. But to give you an imperative, you could say,
Geh in den Wald.
which means go to the forest.
I see. Where does the word
Wald.
come from?
The word
Wald.
originates from Old High German
Wald.
and has maintained a similar meaning throughout history. It reflects a long-standing connection with nature in German culture, as forests have always been crucial to German landscapes and folklore.
That's fascinating. I didn't know that.
Let's break down
Wald.
a bit more. It can't really be split into smaller parts, but we can think about it in terms of its root meaning. It essentially represents the idea of a wild, wooded area.
So there's not a prefix or suffix.
Exactly. But if we think about similar words, we can find some interesting connections. There are words like,
Waldlauf.
which means forest run, where,
Lauf.
means run, or,
Waldlichtung.
meaning forest clearing, where,
Lichtung.
refers to a clearing.
That makes sense. What are some other words related to
Wald.
Here are a few examples. First, there's,
Waldarbeiter.
which means forest worker, combining,
Wald.
with,
Arbeiter.
meaning worker. Then there's
Waldschule.
which translates to forest school.
I like those. What else?
We also have
Waldspaziergang.
which means forest walk, and
Waldgebiet.
meaning forest area.
Are there more?
Yes. There's
Waldtier.
which means forest animal, and
Waldpflege.
meaning forest maintenance. Finally, we can also use
Waldkindergarten.
which is a forest kindergarten where children learn in the forest.
Wow, that's a lot of words. How can I use
Wald.
in real life?
Great question. Imagine you're hiking. You could say,
Ich gehe in den Wald.
meaning I am going to the forest. If you're talking with friends, you might say,
Der Wald ist sehr schön im Herbst.
which means the forest is very beautiful in autumn.
Okay, let me try.
Ich gehe in den Wald mit meinen Freunden.
Means I am going to the forest with my friends, right?
Exactly. And you could also say,
Wir haben im Wald ein Picknick gemacht.
which translates to we had a picnic in the forest.
I love that. Any tips for remembering the gender of
Wald.
Since
Wald.
is masculine, you can think of it as something strong and sturdy, like a strong tree. Also, remember, many nouns ending in are masculine.
That's helpful.
In terms of usage,
Wald.
is generally neutral and can be used in both formal and informal contexts. You might hear phrases like,
Im Wald kann man gut entspannen.
which means in the forest, one can relax well.
Any similar words I should watch out for?
Yes, watch out for.
Wald.
And,
Wüste.
which means desert. They are quite different, but the ending sounds similar.
Got it. Can I try to recall some of the things we've learned?
Of course. What is the article for?
Wald.
It's
Der.
right.
Correct. And what is the plural form?
It's
Wälder.
Great. Can you give me a sentence using
Wald.
in the past tense?
Der Wald war schön.
Means the forest was beautiful.
Perfect. Now, what's the perfect tense for?
Wald.
I think it's
Der Wald ist schön gewesen.
Exactly. And finally, what could you say if you want to tell someone to go to the forest?
maybe.
Geh in den Wald.
That's right. You're doing really well, Sam.
Thanks, Alex. This was really fun. What should I remember most about?
Wald.
Just remember that
Wald.
means forest and it's a masculine noun. Think of all the beautiful forests in Germany and how they bring people together.
I will. I can't wait to use it in conversation.
Keep practicing, Sam. You'll get there. See you next time.